Hello everyone, and welcome back to BapsHockey. Today I'm going to talk about the Marchand shot, and I've shown the last 2 days of Shoot Like a Pro segment of shooting on your strong leg. And that would be rotating all the way across. So if you're a lefty, you'd end up finishing on your right leg, and vice versa. If you're a righty, you'd end up on your right leg. And so now I'm going to work on shooting off that weak leg or shooting off that one leg, the leg closest to the stick, and so to your blade. And so here I want you to look at Marchand. I got three picture examples here, and I'll play for it here once. I want you to see the similarities of each shot. And now we're going to look at it in game speed. Again, I really like Marchand as an example because he's very consistent with the type of shot he uses, and it's very mimicable. You can mimic this type of shot, and this is very common skill that you see in players, but I'm going to break down just one detail of his shot, and I'm going to focus on the hips. And so let's go back to the first photo, and what I want you to see is he hikes his right hip up so that there's this angle to the hip. And so what I want you to see is that is very similar. It almost matches that stick angle as well once he pulls that bottom hand in. And so when we move to the next one, I want to see here, again, you see that same thing. That hip is up, and it mimics that stick. One more time, we'll see the next one. Right here is you want to hike that hip, and when you're pulling that, when you're about to snap that puck off, it's really critical that when you're hiking that hip, that when you look at that, you want it to be parallel to the stick, so it creates that type of an angle. Okay, and so that's something that you can do when you're practicing your shot, practicing this shot specifically on ice or off ice. You can tape yourself, and you can see that in the loading phase before you execute the shot, is your stick parallel to that hip. And so again, when we're moving to the game speed portion here, so what I want us to look at is, again, when he goes to make that shot, that stick in that loading phase. And then we go back here nice and slow. Right here, that loading phase, the hips are parallel to that stick. And how he does that and how he leverages that power is by hiking that right hip. So right here, this right hip, he pushes it upwards. And by doing so, now he creates leverage on the stick. And I'll talk further on something called the lateral line, and I'll just touch on it right now, but essentially the lateral line is right here, right from this top of the shoulder, left shoulder, all the way down to the bottom of the left foot, and you create this like bow looking type motion right here. And that essentially, when you hike that right hip up, now you're able to load that bow and execute this shot very effectively. So again, here in slow-mo, let's walk through it again one last time. So when you're shooting off that weak leg, right before, as you see this picture is going to come up, he's going to lift this right leg up. And by doing so, he's going to allow himself to leverage that stick, leverage that power, and be able to snap that puck off. So the key there is getting the hips first in line with that stick when you hike this right hip up. Okay, so hopefully that's something helpful, a little helpful tip for you to improve your shot in stride. Essentially, this is a shot that you would do coming down the wing, carrying it into the zone, and you're trying to snap one off quickly. And so it's really important, again, to be able to create that hip angle that will be parallel with that stick, and that will allow you to leverage the stick and able to get more power and velocity off that shot. Thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully this tip was helpful and you can add it into your game to improve your shot. Drop a like or comment below if you have any questions. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to helping you get to the next level.